Hello everyone. Well, I thought today we would do this song, Hallelujah. It was a song that was released in the 80s by Leonard Cohen. I'm sure you remember it. It's quite popular. And so it's a beautiful song, beautiful rhythm to it and feel to it as you're playing it. But I thought I would show you the way I do it anyways, and show you some of the things that I do to bring that melody out while you're playing some of the chords with it together. In some ways, the chords kind of bring the melody out itself. So it makes it pretty easy. So I think we'll go through that today, and I'll show you the chords, show you how I go about some of the different things to bring, some of those different ways to bring in the melody, and see if maybe you could take it from there, practice it out, and find your way. Okay, so before we get started, I wanted to tell you that tomorrow night, now this is California time, so it will be today is the 16th, it'll be the 17th tomorrow here, and it's going to be at 6 p.m. California time. I was going to do a live. It'll be about 30 minutes. So if you want to join us on there, and we'll be talking about guitars, our favorite subject. And so join us. Come on, 6 p.m. tomorrow. And you'll see, if you go to my page and go under the live tab, you should see the link there. And also, if you set the time on it, or if you set the little bell, it'll remind you. Okay? So that's coming up tomorrow. So I wanted to let you know that. All right. Well, let's get started on this little short lesson on Hallelujah. And it's in the key of G that I'm doing it. Although I have to admit, I like playing it in the key of G for a number of reasons. But I also like to bring it up and not for reasons of voice. I just like the way that sounds. It just gives a different feel to it. So I'm not going to show you that. We're not going to go through it that way, but I just wanted to show you that so that once you get it down, try moving up a little bit on it and see if it brings the sound out a little bit more. I don't know. It's just something about bringing it up just a couple frets that kind of adds to it, at least in my thinking. So, but we're going to just stay in standard tuning, no capos. We're just going to play in the key of G. It's G, E minor, G, E minor, C, D, G, D, G, C, D, E minor, C, D, B seventh, E minor, C, C, E minor, C, C, G, D, G. There it is, right there. So you can see it's pretty simple. It's just G, D, C, and E minor, and there's a B7th in there. But that B7th, we're going to show you something different. And also for the E minor, I use the 7th on it quite a bit. And I do it up here as well as here. So we're going to talk about those things as we go through this, okay? So let's just take it in bite size. And if you can get each bite, work on a bite, you know, and then come back the next day and add the next bite. Don't try to do it all at once. It'll become a lot easier for you, okay? Just to take it in little pieces. So we're going to start out with this piece here, the intro. Okay, so the first thing I have to address is my finger picking. So what I'm doing is my thumb is hitting that bass note, which is the low E string or the 6th string. In this case, it's starting out on a G. And then the 3 fingers here, which are always taking care of strings 3, 2, 1, right? Pointer fingers on 3. See that? So that's how we're addressing that, okay? So if you want to get used to that, you might start with just practicing that. Mute your strings. Okay, all right. So now that we've got that part down, and so this first part, I'm just doing strings 3, 2, 1, and then I'm going to walk down to a B, or the F note, or F sharp. See that? So all that's doing is picking that up. If you want, you could grab it with your first finger. Then go to the E minor. Thumb, thumb, thumb. 3, 2, 1. Okay? So that's the intro right there. Now, the interesting thing is that intro, actually can bring the melody out, because I'm using a G chord, I'm using a G sus. See that? I'm putting my ring finger on the 3rd fret 2nd string. So it makes... So then it brings in that note, and then the first string is going to be for the E minor. So you got, okay, so do you see that chord is making the melody for you if you accentuate or if you exaggerate the notes on those strings, okay? So and then we go to C, okay? So let's start from the beginning again. We're going to do the intro. So that part right there, once again, I'm playing melody, but what I'm doing, this, on the 3rd fret here, on the 2nd string, it's actually a D. Once again, that note is coming out when you're playing. C, hit the D, okay, so let's take it from the beginning. Okay, so from there you go to the G chord, or the G sus again. I'm staying with that because that D note is so important, or that 3rd fret 2nd string is so important. So what I'm doing is I'm substituting this for C and this for D. Okay, just those 2 notes. I'm plucking just strings 5 and 2. 5 and 2. And then no frets in between. And this finger here is on the 7th fret. 1st finger's on the 2nd fret. Okay, and that's a substitute for the E minor 7th. At least that's what I'm using it for. So it's going to sound like this. Okay, so did you get that? So we have G, 2-finger fill here. Then you go to the one that doesn't, it only has 1 fret in between. I'm putting the chord charts up there. So I just, and I go back to the E minor 7th. And I'm 7thing it on the 1st string, 3rd fret. Okay, so let's go from the beginning. Okay, so now, once you do this part, I go up here to the E minor 7th, and then I go, and you put your pointer finger on the 1st fret, 3rd string. Okay, that is actually a C, okay? And you can go up to the D. Okay, and then what you're going to do, this one's the tough part. You can either come down here and just play this B7th chord here. And what I do is just play strings 5, 4, 3, 2, and so I just make that upside down D right there. You could do the full B7th if you want. Put your pinky finger on the 1st string, but I think it sounds pretty good there. But that's not what I do. What I do is so I bar the 4th fret, the strings 4 through 1, and take my pinky finger and put it on the 7th fret, first string. And then take my middle finger and pick up the pinky and lay down on the 5th fret, 1st string. Almost missed that. So it's going to an E minor 7th. Okay, so let's go through it one more time. We're just taking it piece at a time. Just plays open string, the B string, play that D, which is the 3rd fret, go to C, E minor, C, and it ends there. So where it ends at is I make a G chord or a G triad up here. It's a D shape on the 7th fret. Okay. So I'm using the pinky finger here to bring that melody. And then I go back to that D. And then play the G chord. And it closes it. C, E minor, oops, I really botched that last ending there, but you get the idea, okay? So take that and just work with it. That's how I want it to end. And actually what I wanted to do was do some harmonics down there. But we won't try to throw that in. Sometimes when I'm trying to do this, it's one thing, I'll sit and play this. The minute I get in front of this camera setting here, everything gets boggled in my mind or something. I don't know what it is. I'm going to blame it on old age. But if you can get something out of it, it would make me happy. So just go through it, take it a bite at a time, slow down. I tried. Anyways, you know, you get the idea. And I think we'll leave it right there. So don't forget to live tomorrow, okay? And thank you for all you that are subscribing out there. I really appreciate it. My channel's been growing fast, and it's just been a lot of fun watching it. I think we'll just leave it right there. And I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are in this world.